Welcome to Chibi Fangirl's Epic Reviewing Talk Show. I'm here with my co-hosts who are...
Bka-cheif, the critical kid, Twisted Fan
And welcome to the Madoka chat, where I found 3 people who weren't that crazy into anime or not anime fans at all, and made them watch the darkest anime of all time. So, let's talk about how we discovered Madoka, and obviously Cody did not know anything about this until I told him about it. But, I found out about this anime through some crazy video that one of my, YouTube friends had posted called "This Anime is Really Messed Up." It was the scene with Kyoko and, Sayaka fighting on top of the bridge, and Madoka throws her soul gem out into the freeway, and it's like, oh, she's dead. I'm like, this sounds like the coolest magical girl show ever. Everyone's killing each other, and, unfortunately that was during the time where there was no English dub, and, I had to settle until J.O.'s review came out, and I'm like, oh wow, there's finally an English dub, so I went and go watch it, and it turned out to be one of my favorite animes of all time. So, Bernie, how did you find out about this show?
I found out of it, not in for you guys, actually.
Oh, okay.
I think I've actually seen clips of it before, but I wasn't aware of its existence until you guys told me about the title. So,
And then, okay, go on.
yeah, like I said, I managed to watch the whole thing. I realized earlier on that I really should not watch this stuff right before going to bed.
Yeah. Things not to do before bed. Listen to dubstep and watch Madoka.
Exactly.
So, Cody, you obviously had no knowledge of this. Vamp, how did you have knowledge of this, or did I introduce it to you as well?
Actually, you did not introduce it to me.
Okay.
I've known about this for a while, ever since Jesu Otaku told me
Okay.
about it through video. Well, one thing I could say is that me and her don't really agree all the time.
Yeah, I
But I
agree.
will say this, I do like her. Her videos are good, nonetheless. But I will say this, for me, Madoka Magica, I actually was really interested in seeing it. And I wanted to like it, but apparently I had the polar opposite opinion. Because I grew up watching Card Captors and Card Captor Sakura, and I found those to be fun. I just didn't really find this one to be as good. It was more depressing than anything else.
Well, the way I viewed Madoka, it was like more of a kick to the ball rather than a disappointment. It was basically like saying not all things are the same. You know how like stereotypes are, where like not all black people like watermelon, not all white people can't dance. It's kind of like that.
And then, like, Chinese people, like, have squinty eyes
Mhm.
and buck teeth.
It's
and they
kind
don't
of like
cry.
you're a really
Or look
cool.
at the state where I'm from. That should tell you enough.
Yeah, but like
God. Jersey Shore, Snooki, Pickles, whatever. Here's the thing. Most of those people are from New York. They're from Long Island, so, yeah.
For me, Madoka, whatever the fuck you call it, Madoka Magica, basically, well, I did feel it was more than just a swift kick to the balls, but more like it was getting a chainsaw to the dick than anything else. But, sorry, but this makes me want to pretty much kill every single magical girl anime out there, because I like having the other feeling of joy when I watch something like this. I didn't exactly feel it.
mhm,
I feel bad for Monica, to be honest, but at least she did the right thing in the end.
mhm.
And
Okay.
it takes guts to die to save everyone else.
Alright. I'm gonna
Didn't
tell you.
necessarily died per se.
Alright, I'm gonna tell you my experience with
She became a cosmic entity,
Okay.
but who gives a fuck what she did?
Alright.
Anyway,
Okay.
let's move on.
Alright, so I'm gonna give you my experience with magical girls, because this was during the period where I officially lost hope in all magical girl shows, because a majority of them felt the same to me. Like Sailor Moon, for example. I honestly cannot stand that show as an adult. I prefer the manga because the characters seem really bland, uncharacterized. They're all dumb and dim-witted. I'm like, I'm supposed to relate to these characters in what way? I mean, I cannot relate to any single one of these characters. And then Card Captors, that was a little more interesting because it was a single magical girl and with her magical boyfriend. But I don't really consider it a magical girl show just because most of them have the groups together and all have powers together. This one really wasn't, and like Tokyo Mew Mew and all the other ones just felt like a Sailor Moon knockoff. And then there's ones like Cutie Honey where it's like, yeah, this is really disgusting. I don't want to watch this. But the thing about Madoka, this is like actually giving me hope. It gives me like a darker feel, more raw emotions when it came to magical girl business. Because the thing about Sailor Moon, there were sad scenes, but I never really cried through any of those sad scenes. Like, people die, I'm like, they're gonna come back, I know that. And like Monica, it's like they don't come back. And that's like the sad reality of life. It really teaches you that.
Yeah, well, that's not what I particularly want to see in my anime, but I can understand that without having to see it in a cartoon. Sorry, I'm twisted like that.
Alright, Bernie, do you have any knowledge within magical girl shows in general?
I have seen a few episodes of Sailor Moon myself, and it was just meh. This, I do recall watching Card Captors when I was younger, when it was on Kids WB, and I actually did enjoy it. Though the old joke of what happens when you combine Pokemon with Yu-Gi-Oh, you get Card Captors.
I know.
Yep.
I know that was terrible.
So true.
But again, I enjoyed it. Kiro being the comedy relief.
Yep.
Which this show apparently, which Madoka, no comedy relief. It started out looking like your stereotypical magical girl anime, but there were hints that this was not what it was all cracked up to be.
And a lot of plot holes that assault you along with its depressing atmosphere.
Oh no, you haven't even got to plot hole territory. There is a prequel that has more plot holes.
Oh, I bet.
And I discovered one thing. Wait a second. Kyubey grants wishes, which forms contracts with these girls, and they give up their souls.
Yeah, I saw the same thing.
Yep. Kyubey is the devil.
I said that's exactly what I thought, Cody.
Yo, we're all on the same page. Kyubey is the devil. Should not be trusted.
Yes.
But, Cody, do you have any familiar knowledge with any magical girl shows? I know you've seen some of Sailor Moon.
Well, the thing is that I haven't really experienced anime as a kid. I remember anime existing because I've seen some commercials for shows like Pokemon and like I remember Sailor Moon, but I vaguely remember it until Nostalgia Critic did his review, and I'm like, oh, Sailor Moon, I remember that when I was a kid. And then I decided, well, I haven't seen it in my childhood because I went to this church that always says, like, anime is the devil. I'm like, no, it's not. I've just realized that it really isn't, because Pokemon really isn't that satanic as some. But I was from a non-denominated church and everything, and I later moved up here to Birmingham, and I realized that the denomination that I went to school with, the Church of Christ, they watch Pokemon, and they do all that stuff. And it's like, I've learned more about that through them. And when I watched a few episodes of Sailor Moon, I'm like, good God, this is stupid. Like, it has a lot of flaws, but you know what? It was sort of like Power Rangers back in my day. Like, Power Rangers was a shiznit back when I was a kid. So maybe growing up and getting familiar with the series, they might like it, but again, it wasn't my thing at all. So I was really scared that Madoka was gonna be like this, but even worse. Turns out that I actually got a little bit into it, but not to the full extent. I think it did had great story with it, like the emotional drawbacks and everything. I do sympathize with some of the characters, except for Monica. Monica is just Mammy's character that much.
Yeah.
But we should go down there and ask them to make a movie about Mammy.
Well,
Mammy movie.
Well, technically there is and there isn't. There is a prequel called Bka Magica, which basically focuses on Mammy and Kyoko's story, facing off a dark, magical girl. The only problem with Bka, though, it doesn't explain most of the questions you have about Madoka, and it's more confusing than the anime itself. So, oh yeah, and the artwork is terrible. It looks like Dragon Ball Z with the distorted bodies and the distorted hair. It's really, really bad.
Yeah. But to wrap up my thoughts, I did think this was show me that anime could be more than just little kids shows. That like it could be more like Adult Swim type of thing. It can be something that can be really dark and really sad and depressing at the same time. And thank you, Kara, for introducing this to me. But it really isn't my cup of tea. It's sort of like, I think the show's okay on its own. And when me and Kara were watching it, we were riffing this thing and we were joking along with it. I told Kara, like, you know what, for a Chibi Fangirl, you should make a review of this.